Hi everyone, this is a quick video to give you a little bit of a rundown of what the different types of buildings that you can have in your empire do and what benefits you get from them as they level up, and also a little information on getting started with research. So to begin with, you have two different kinds of buildings. You have your rural buildings, which are the buildings outside your walls, and you have urban buildings, which are the buildings inside your walls. So the rural buildings that you can have, you have farms, you have mines, you have logging camps, and you have quarries. So your farm is going to produce food, and as you level up your farm, what you get for it is more food production as well as a higher food capacity, so a higher amount of food that you can hold in your kingdom before you will stop producing. And the same goes for each of your resource production buildings. So your quarry here is going to produce stone, your mine here is going to produce ore, and your logging camp is going to produce wood. Now, how many of each of these you have is going to be up to you. It's going to depend on what type of account you want and what you're trying to make more of. Now, your walls provide for you a level of protection against attacks because you're able to build traps. So to begin with, you only have war bricks available. They are very quick to build and very inexpensive to build. I would suggest building those up pretty quickly. They won't do a huge amount of damage to incoming troops, but they will at least provide some level of protection for you. Now, inside your walls, you have several different types of buildings. The first one, obviously, is your stronghold. What you get when you level up your stronghold, you get the ability to have additional marches. You start with one, and then through research and your stronghold being leveled up, you can gain more throughout the game. It also does allow you to increase the amount of troops that can go in your march. So if I was to take my stronghold up to level 3, I would be able to add an additional 5,000 troops to my march. I would have an additional help as well, get some hero experience and some power. And if you click on the more information here, it will tell you exactly what happens when you level up each level. So in order for me to get an additional march, I would need to go to level 6. Then again, you'll get another march a little bit later on down here at, I believe, level 15 or 16. So you can get additional marches, again, additional helps. When you get to level 21, you'll have 25 helps available, which becomes very, very useful when you're doing long researches or builds. So in addition to your stronghold, you also have your villas, which are these here. And what your villa does, it actually produces silver. So the higher your level of your villa is, the more silver you produce, as well as the higher capacity you have, just like with the resources. An additional benefit of your villas, though, is that it increases your training speed. So at level 1, you're going to produce 20 silver per hour, have a capacity of 1,000 silver, and get a 1% training speed boost. And this is per villa. So if you have 10 villas, you'll get a 10% training speed boost at just level 1. So you also have hospitals, and your hospitals are here. Now, what happens with your hospitals is if you are attacked at your stronghold, rather than just die off, your troops can go into the hospital. And you have a limited capacity. As you can see, I have a capacity of 1,400 based on the number of hospitals that I have and the level of hospital that they are. The higher the level, the more troops can fit in the hospital. Now, if you do not have hospitals, or if you have more than the troops that you can hold in your hospital, then they will die off. So if they die off, you have to retrain, whereas if they go into the hospital, you are able to heal them. It does cost resources to heal them, and it takes time. What's nice about it, though, is if you're able to get them all in your hospital, and you have the right amount of resources, you can either choose to instant heal them with gold, and that will cost more gold depending on the number of troops and the tier of troop as well. But you can also, if you choose to just wait the amount of time, you'll get the ability to ask your alliance to help speed up the healing. So that is useful as well. You also have your barracks, which I have over here. This is where you're going to train your troops. We're going to get more into troop training and the different types of troops and what they do in a later video, but with your barracks, just to begin with some information for you, the more barracks you have and the higher level they are, the more troops you can train at one time. Doesn't really affect the time that it takes, but you can queue up more to train all at once. Additionally, you get some health benefits to your troops and defense benefits to your troops the higher level your barracks are. So additionally, inside your walls, you have your watchtower. Your watchtower will give you information about incoming marches. The higher the level of the watchtower, the more information you get. You also have your forge, which is this building here. This one becomes more important later on in the game. It's not as important at the moment, but what you do with your forge is you combine materials, cores, pieces, and gems that you pick up. You also will use this to craft different equipment, cores and everything. Again, you're not going to be crafting cores in the beginning, but when you do get equipment to make, this is where you will do it. The higher the level of your forge, the faster you can craft different items. Also, when you get to level 21, that's when it unlocks that additional accessory slot on your hero. You have your storehouse. This protects your resources in the event of an attack. So if your stronghold is attacked and you have 100,000 or less food, the person who is attacking you will not get any of your food. The higher the level of your storehouse, the more resources it protects. It does not protect silver until you get up to level 21. And there's a couple of extra buildings over here. You have your dungeon. The dungeon, I will do a tutorial video at some point about the dungeon. When you go into this, it allows you to spend dark energy, which you can buy with gold, to attack the monster that's in there. And what you get when you do that are different resources, potentially speed ups. You could get gold. It's not loading at the moment, but that is what the dungeon does. You also have your treasury here, which as you can see is locked until you get to level 15. Treasury, what you do with that is deposit gold, let it sit for a certain amount of time, and then you get it back with interest. Over here, another locked building that you have is your graveyard. That also opens up at Stronghold 15. The graveyard is where you would be able to see any heroes that you execute, or also if your hero gets executed at any point in time, they will be in your graveyard. And lastly is your academy. Inside your academy is where you do researches. When you are first starting in the game, it will lead you through a tutorial where it will require that you research scouting level 1. As you research these, it will unlock additional researches that you can do below. You can see these are locked. If ever you would like to see what the requirements are to research these, if you open them, click research, it will show you why it's locked. This one is locked because I do not have Academy level 3 yet. Also, I don't have enough resources to do that, but that doesn't make it show up as locked. So right now I am working on research in my hero tree so that my hero can attack monsters. I'd like to get this done as early as possible. You get hero experience as well as items, materials. You could even potentially get gold, speed ups, all from attacking monsters. So the sooner you can get this tree unlocked and started, the better. It does have a fairly high cost for resources for this early in the game. You can see that this one here, I don't have enough food to do it yet. It requires 6,000. I have 338. I think I do have enough here that I can pop this resource And okay, so now you can see that I'm going to go ahead and select to research this. You can also see what you're going to get for it. I will get a 1% speed boost for my hero when they're walking toward a monster. I'm going to get 6,400 hero experience and 375 power. You can also ask for help from your alliance to speed up your researches, just like you can do with your building. So that wraps up this video on the different building types and a little bit of basic information on getting started with researching early on. I will be doing another video shortly on troop training to give you some information about that. If you have any questions about this, put them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and keep watching for new tutorial videos.